What's going on, y'all? I'm here to talk about the buffs and changes for Alolan Persian. Kanto Persian will have their own video down the line when I get to them, but they will be much more offensively oriented instead of having fur coat. Uh, but they also have like stab, payday, and all that other, jackpot, cheese. It's super, super strong, super luck instead of fur coat. But yeah, Alolan Persian, very, very bulky. It's also very versatile, right? Because it can be offensive or defensive, which is a really good trait to have in a ROM hack like this. So if you're new here and you don't know what this ROM hack is, pause the video and read the description. It's going to give you a lot of important background info on how the game is balanced. Specifically for Teamlocked and nuzlockes, having a Pokemon that has it can be fast, it can be super tanky, it can be offensive. That's a really good trait to have. Because it's like a Swiss Army knife, right? But it's like you can make it do a bunch of different things depending on the situation. So yeah, this thing is pretty strong. 195 offenses seem middling, but you do have high base power moves and hubris to boost your special attack, and then you have that incredibly defensive fur coat. 70-60 bulk with fur coat is really, really tanky with max defense investment. And the beautiful thing is you have access to infinite move learner, infinite EV training, infinite ability changing, so you can swap to fur coat and you can do like a bulky parting shot, slack off, utility set, or you can just use it to 1v1 something, right? Like you can even do offensive fur coat. In fact, a lot of the time that's what you'll be doing is just offensive fur coat. You'll take physical hits. You can also do like utility stuff like encore and other cool things, but even just bulky offensive fur coat to switch in, take a hit, and kill something with one of your coverage options or strong stab moves. Stuff like Twilight Cannon, which is Dark type Draco Meteor, Night Days, which is Dark type special. Why did I say dark type? Special Wicked Blow. Keep in mind, Night Days can't be used twice in a row. So with Hubris, you can't spam Choice Scarf Night Days or Twilight Cannon because Twilight Cannon will drop your special attack. So the best option for Hubris would probably be Dark Pulse, or you could do Night Days and then switch moves, of course. But then you can't run Choice Scarf. So like with Jackpot, for example, Night Days is a good option. Jackpot, as you can read, gives you an Omni boost, but it causes essentially so the flavor text for this is kind of funny. I'll show you. It says, "Congrats, you won. This will boost all your stats, but you didn't pay your taxes, so you'll faint in 4 turns if you don't switch or run away." So you can even abuse that with tactical retreat if you wanted to. Like you could time it so that way you are either recoil. Like for example, you could do like Hell Thrust, tactical retreat, jackpot, and then deal some recoil, get yourself in range, and then switch out with the tactical retreat to get out of jackpot. But that's kind of losing the plot. The best way to get out of jackpot, killing yourself, is just to click U-turn or parting shot, or just switch out hard. The reason I did that is just to balance the Omni boost, so you can't completely sweep teams. You have to you can get a few kills and then you have to switch out. Which is really good, especially with Hubris. You can snowball. Even without Jackpot, you can still just do plain old, Scarf, Hubris, Dark Pulse, Scarf, Hubris, Aura Sphere, Power Gem, Thunderbolt, Burning Jealousy. Why did this? That was weird. My screen just like moved down on its own. But yeah, Sludge Bomb, Energy Ball, all sorts of stuff. These guys are really, really fun mixed attackers. Meowth is also really good utility for early on with Prankster, Prankster Encore, Prankster Growl, Leer, Fake Tears, Charm, Befriend. Confide, stuff like that. All of those are really good debuffing options that you can check out on the Google Sheet, but they all just drop stats in different ways, and they're all useful in their own right. Like they all have uses over each other, for the most part. Offensively, if you got Terra Normal, that could be pretty cool with like Payday and Fake Out and stuff, but even without it, it's fine. Payday is just a cool little option early on. It's strong for that point in the game, level 21. Having a 135 power move with Scope Lens is definitely pretty good. You can run that with Night Slash as well. It's much better. So Payday was designed specifically for Kanto Persian, but Alolan Persian can still use it. They just get it much earlier, so you can get some early game usage out of it. Other loaded dice stuff, you can, and then Payday isn't a loaded dice move, but loaded dice stuff like Fury Swipes, Tail Slap, Pummel, Wallop is all pretty good. But yeah, the main thing here is just snowballing with Hubris, offensive stuff with Hubris, offensive fur coat, utility fur coat, and then tactical retreat. So the reason I chose flavor-wise, the reason I chose tactical retreat, by the way, is because of they have rattled in vanilla. So if you look on screen, hold on, fucking Persian, they have rattled as their hidden ability normally. So they actually changed from Unnerve on Kanto to rattled, which means that rattled and tactical retreat or wimp out or whatever is the same flavor, right? They run away when they're low HP. So that's really good because obviously you do have parting shot and fur coat and all this good utility defensive pivoting stuff, but sometimes it's nice to just have like a second eject button, which is kind of what tactical retreat is. Sometimes all you'll need in a boss fight is to switch in your Persian, maybe get some damage off, and then switch out. That's all you got to do, right? It's super, super useful when you have other ability options. So it's a nice option to switch to when you need it. And there wasn't really many other good abilities that fit that like I like on them very much, right? So tactical retreat is good. It's just a good ability. Fur coat's the main one you'll be using a lot of the time. Hubris is good for sweeping. 100 attack, I at first initially didn't see it, but the Pokedex does say that they are like one tough opponent has formidable physical abilities. So, you know, if that's what the deck says, then I can, you know, it is a pretty big cat, I guess. I mean, you know, like it was like 4 feet long. Yeah, almost 4 feet long. It's a pretty, or 4 feet tall. It's a big ass cat. So, you know, it's definitely strong physically. And strong enough. I mean, 100 attack isn't great, but, you know, you have your strong coverage options you can teach. So if you're hitting everything super effectively or with strong stab moves, then it doesn't really matter. But yeah, Fur Coat is the main use here. It's very straightforward. Other great utility options: Hypnosis is consistent for 2 turns. If you use Wide Lens, you'll always land with buffed Wide Lens. I don't know, man. It's really pretty much it. It's pretty straightforward. Offensive sweeping stuff and defensive Fur Coat stuff and tactical retreat for more utility. It's basically it. So thank you for listening. Leave a comment down below if you like this one. I'm going through these pretty quick, man. You can look at the screen and look at all the coverage options. I'm not going to go through every single option because there's so many of them. But that's pretty much it. So yeah, peace, y'all.